So I thought McCabe was going to win the thing. I'm so glad he didn't. It would have alienated entire wings of the party, shrinking the party greatly, reducing its energy and passion, and all for the fool's errand of trying to win over Liberal voters who are pretty much just fine with Trudeau, thank you very little. I like Derek Sloan. I interviewed him 3 or 4 times in the campaign. I thought he was a master of Conservative policy. I hope he's given an important position in O'Toole's shadow cabinet. Andrew Scheer famously marginalized and blackballed his former leadership rivals, which is one of the reasons why the PPC party split off, along with a lot of energy. I hope O'Toole isn't bitter like Andrew Scheer was. I hope he doesn't make the same mistake. Leslyn Lewis is not an MP yet. And I'm not sure if getting her into Parliament right away is the best use of her talents and energy and time, especially when Parliament is so reduced in scope and function. And maybe she can find another position with the Conservatives to continue to expand the party, not shrink it. And of course she should run in the next election, but in a safe riding, I would think, not a long shot riding. She wouldn't want to run in Saskatchewan, probably not. Her life's in Toronto, but I bet she could win any riding in Saskatchewan, don't you think? Maybe Andrew Scheer should retire and step aside for her. He's already got a huge pension. Why wouldn't he? What's left for him to do? And as to O'Toole himself, well, we'll see quickly enough. Remember, he was the thin-skinned complainer of the candidates who claimed to the party's secret committee to get his rival, Jim Karahalios, kicked out of the race. That's not really a Conservative move. It's not really a free speech move. It's more a cancel culture move. O'Toole's campaign chairman, Walid Solomon, likes to sue people who criticize him. I'm not sure how that squares with O'Toole's newfound belief in free speech. O'Toole himself avoided speaking with Rebel News for the longest time until he just sort of gave up running. He was not willing to descend to Peter MacKay's level of hiding in the bathroom when Keane walked by. My point is, hopefully this new Conservative version of Erin O'Toole is here to stay. And I say that because the aforementioned Walid Solomon was also the campaign chairman for Sneaky Patrick Brown when he ran for the leadership of the provincial PCs out here. Brown promised the right that he was really a Conservative, both fiscal and social, but as soon as he won, he abandoned both of those points of view and became a carbon tax-loving liberal libertine, as we all now know. I hope that's not Walid Solomon's plan for Erin O'Toole, to take the votes of Conservatives, including the second-choice votes of Leslyn Lewis, just to win, but then tack back to the left after it's done. We'll see. I know what the CPC wants. They want a lapdog like Andrew Scheer was. They want someone who's afraid to buck the media party's narrative. They want someone who's just a Me Too repeater of the conventional wisdom on everything from immigration levels to global warming to the pandemic. Look, I'm going to be hopeful for now. The party dodged a big bullet by not voting for Peter MacKay, and Erin O'Toole is saying the right things. Here's an excerpt from his speech last night.
The world still needs more Canada. It just needs less Justin Trudeau. Why should I be that leader? Because I believe that whether you are black, white, brown, or from any race or creed, whether you are LGBT or straight, whether you are an Indigenous Canadian or have joined the Canadian family 3 weeks ago or 3 generations ago, whether you're doing well or barely getting by, whether you worship on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, or not at all, you are an important part of Canada, and you have a home in the Conservative Party of Canada. Maybe you have voted for a different party your whole life, or have never voted at all. Maybe you feel that as a union member, you should not vote for our party. Maybe you feel let down repeatedly by politicians. Maybe your family came to Canada for better, but you are still waiting for fair treatment. Maybe you run a small business and work all day only to be called a tax cheat by your own government. It is time for many Liberal and NDP voters to socially distance themselves from those out-of-touch parties. It is time for more Canadians to look at the Conservative Party again. If you want the opportunity to work hard to provide for your family, you should be voting Conservative. If you want to stop insiders from getting ahead while you are falling back, you should be voting Conservative. If you are proud of what we produce in this country, whether it's the resources in the ground or the ideas in our heads, you should be voting Conservative. And if you believe deeply, like I do, that you need an ethical government and that we need to give the Ethics Commissioner a break, you should be voting Conservative.
That's not bad. Good place to start. Look, he's not a rock star, okay? He was a Harper cabinet minister whose name you probably forgot. He came in third in the race to replace Stephen Harper last time. He lost to Scheer and Maxime Bernier. So he's the party's second, third, fourth, or fifth choice. All right, fine. Fine. It's not your first round draft pick, but he's better than Trudeau. I would take the 10th round draft pick if he's a Conservative instead of Trudeau. Our job here at Rebel News remains the same. Tell the other side of the story. Tell the Conservative side of the story. We'll call it like we see it. We'll be fair and we'll be hopeful. If O'Toole backslides, if he pulls a Patrick Brown, we'll be here to let you know. But for now, as flawed as he is, Erin O'Toole is the best chance of beating Justin Trudeau in the next election. It is our job to make sure that if he gets there as a Conservative. Stay with us for more. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.